What's up guys, if you're thinking about relocating to the Fresno area, this is one video that you absolutely should watch. We're going to walk through two really nice model homes today, similar to the ones we saw in a video that we did last week in South East Fresno, but these homes you don't want to miss because they are definitely a step up. It is this builder's higher end product line. They have 6,000 square foot lots. There's a walking trail out here. There's a park going in the community, as well as one right across the street. We're going to see all of that in this video, so stay tuned and let's get into it. All right, so first house we're looking at today is 1860 square feet. Very nice single story. This is the higher end product line for this builder. And all these houses are single story. They're on bigger lots, 6,000 square foot lots. And I think you're gonna like this house because it's impressive. Look at this thing. Let's have a look. All right, so as we walk in, my first thing is the flooring. Wow, look at that. I love how it's angled. It's just something different that you don't see every day. So check out the entry. I like that it's got the upgraded gold hardware everywhere. Gives it a nice elegance that is different from the black that we see in most of our videos. So check this thing out. We're gonna start with the kitchen because that's kind of the first thing that you notice when you enter the great room. So there's the front door. That door there that you see right there is the garage, and we pan around to the kitchen, dining and living room. So again, this is 1860 square feet. They use it well. It's quite open. The board and batten is a nice touch. That's what they call this texture. Some people call it paneling, but it's called board and batten. It's very nice. I like it. I like the island, the pendants. It's a very elegant home. Just the theme of this house has a nice elegance. All right, pantry, not bad. I mean, I can step in here. It's definitely bigger than the pantry in the lower end product by this builder. If you remember, last week we saw a 5-bedroom, 2-story house. It could be a 6-bedroom. It had kind of a small pantry for the size of the house. This is definitely more appropriate. So that's really cool. So this is all super nice here. I like the quartz, the lighting. And we've got the soft close cabinets, upper and lower. So that's kind of cool. It's nice. I like that we've got the hood here without the microwave up top. That's always nice. This is all electric appliances that we have in this house. So you can kind of get a nice visual of this. Now, this house has 9-foot ceilings. I don't know if you remember, I kind of made a comment about that last week. And so I wanted to go back and show you the 9-foot option, which is what these homes have. But look at how impressive it looks with the cabinets that go all the way up. It's got more wow factor for sure. These are definitely a step up. So same neighborhood out here in Southeast Fresno. You know, same schools. It is Fresno Unified. We've got Sierra Vista Mall close by, and we are going to go back to the map after this home, and I'm going to show you before the next house where we're at, just kind of as a reminder in case you missed our last video. I will link it at the end in case you want to check out very similar homes with a little bit, you know, a little bit better price point depending on what you're trying to accomplish. One thing I love is all the storage. So these homes come jam-packed with storage so that your house doesn't look jam-packed. So that is nice because you can't have enough storage. So the detail of the doors, that's kind of cool. This is the gold, it's kind of like coming back in style. So I've seen lots of homes built in the 90s, you know, early 90s. They did like the real brassy gold. Nowadays the gold's coming back, but it's not like a brassy gold. It's kind of like a matte gold, so that looks pretty good in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments on that. We got the thicker baseboards. Now these doors are 8-foot doors. There's something about 8-foot doors that I love. It gives it a nice elegance. Okay, this is a bigger closet. That is, you know, her space right there, and his is there, so make it work. I'm just kidding. This is nice though. It's a good sized closet. So here's your central panel right here. That's where your internet, all that's gonna go. You can see all the cords. That looks like fun, doesn't it? So, I know. All right, this room is pretty decent. We are in the primary suite, so check it out. Let me know what you think of this house so far. So for 1860 square feet, it's actually got a really nice setup. It's a very nice layout. I mean, I love single-story homes. That's just my own personal preference. I know a lot of clients, they think that a two-story is more prestigious. It's really nothing having to do with prestige. It's more about preference than prestige, in my opinion. What do you think? Do you like single-story or two-story? Okay, this is good. Dual vanity, wet room. It's got a nice flow. I like the tile. I would like this wood floor all the way into there. That would be really pretty. I like that they carried the angle all the way throughout. Now this here is, they have it set up as a sitting area. This would make a great office. So for me, this would be an awesome office space. So they've got it set up as a little hangout room. This could actually be optionally spec'd as a bedroom. So if you need another bedroom, this house is a 3-bedroom. That could be your 4th. Okay, so that's an option for you. Now, if you need 4 bedrooms and you still want that bonus space, stick around and check out the next house after the map section of the video that we're going to go over here in just a moment, because the next house has 4 bedrooms and a formal dining that could be a 5th if you absolutely needed a 5th. I think you're going to like that house because it feels really grand. It's nearly 500 feet bigger than this home, and it's still single story, so it's pretty big. It's got a nice footprint, so we're going to see that here in just a little bit, so stick around. All right, here's the 2nd bedroom. I would say it's a standard size, nothing crazy. It looks good. The closet's a little small, to be honest. These doors aren't standard size closet doors. They're kind of narrow, if you can see that. So there's not a ton of storage. It's funny because this house is all about storage is what I'm seeing, except for this. That's kind of a small closet. So let's see what the last bedroom offers. The last bedroom's got like a little entry, kind of cool. And okay, bedroom, yeah, it's slightly bigger. This bedroom is slightly bigger, not by much, but it's got a bigger closet, I believe. Let me see. Let's do the comparison. I can't tell. I think that might be a little, it's slightly bigger. It's not drastic. Out to the front. Okay, this is the bedroom. Looks out to the front. So, all right. Not bad. My favorite thing about the house is the flooring, the angle, and the tall doors. And the kitchen. The kitchen's beautiful, actually. So let's check out the backyard. These come with 6,000 square foot lots, so you would assume that the backyard's bigger. That's not necessarily the case, because if the house is bigger and the lot's bigger, it all kind of scales together. So let's go out there and see for ourselves firsthand, once and for all. Oh yeah, this is a good sized backyard. It's bright out here. I'm gonna put my sunglasses back on. You get so used to wearing sunglasses everywhere and it's hard to see without them. All right, so yeah, this is a good sized yard. I mean, I think it's plenty of space for the average person. It's nice. I'd probably put some grass. That might be their intent. I'm not sure, to be honest with you. This looks like it's still under construction a little bit, so maybe some synthetic grass back here in between, or some real grass, whatever you prefer. I don't know. Does anybody know? I have a question for you guys, actually. Does anybody know if synthetic grass is bad for pets? Like, I've got 2 huskies. We're considering it. I feel like it just seems like it's going to be hot, and when the huskies, you know, do their thing on the synthetic grass, is it going to have an odor? I think it will. I've heard that you can pressure wash it and spray it with product, but I'm just wondering because I need to do my backyard at my house, so we're not sure if we're going synthetic or real grass. So if anybody has insight on that, I would love to hear from you. Text me or just put something in the comments below if you have any insight on that. All right, these homes, newer homes, have that AC condenser on the ground. It's a split unit. So the other piece is in your attic. There's a hose bib coming out of the wall right there. Dual pane windows. I like that these homes come with gutters. You can see that the water will run across the top of the house, down, and it's routed probably to the front on this one. And this has got a really big covered patio too. I'm just kind of noticing the size of it as I'm walking around out here. That's a really big covered patio. So you could grill out here, put your smoker, and do some tri-tips. You can invite me over, I'll eat some tri-tip. All right, let's go back in. All right, so yeah, all in all, this is a great option. This is an awesome floor plan. The prices on these houses are fantastic too. So there is an incentive that I can help you with. I can help you maximize the incentive. That's part of what I do for my clients. I sell tons and tons and tons and tons of new construction homes. I do resell as well, but I do a ton of new construction because it's overwhelming when you don't know the area. You don't know what models offer what. You don't know how much you can push the negotiation. So you got to reach out to us so we can help you with that, because I take pride in getting my clients the best deals available. So, and maximizing the incentive. Why not push the envelope a little bit? So, all right, we're out of the first house. We're gonna walk over to the second house, but while I do that, let me go to the map really quick, show you where we're at today, and let me show you a little bit around what's out here, school, shopping, all that, and then we'll get into the second house. And then later in the video, we are gonna get to the pricing, so stick around and let's go. All right, so where we're at today is in Southeast Fresno. I'll show you on the map right now. Before I get to the specifics of that, please subscribe to our channel if you're enjoying the video. It helps us out a ton. All right, so here's California as kind of a whole, sort of a bird's eye view. We've got San Francisco in the Northern California area, Bay Area, as many people know it. We've got Los Angeles, you know, Disneyland is down south in Southern California. We are right in the heart of California. So let me zoom in here and show you. So we're a couple, about 2 hours inland from the nearest coast, which would be Pismo Beach or Monterey Bay. And then as we move in further, there's many suburbs, you know, smaller cities around the Fresno area. You know, depending on what kind of lifestyle you're looking for. You know, I get people relocating here that tell me they're used to the city life. They want something more laid back. They want country living. You know, we can find you something like that. There's areas out in the foothills. We've got Madera Ranchos. You know, if you want something similar to what you have in San Francisco, you know, we can talk about more urban areas. But where we're at today, we're in an older part of Fresno. It is considered the southeast part of Fresno. Many people refer to it as the Sunnyside area. And it's a nice area. A lot of the area, let me tell you a little bit about Sunnyside really quick. So Sunnyside does have a nice golf course country club, Sunnyside Country Club. It's a much older area. So a lot of the houses in that area are older with big lots, you know, ranch style homes on quarter-acre parcels, things like that. There's not a ton of new construction happening in this particular area. But what I will say is that this neighborhood is kind of tucked right into a bunch of older areas, which makes it pretty desirable, actually, because a lot of the new construction is on the outskirts of town, which people don't always want. So let me zoom in here a little more and kind of show you. So this red pin right here is where we're at today. And what you'll see is green, because it used to be a field. There's no roads, no houses, there's nothing yet. So it is a brand new community, as you can see. We've got the model homes built, and that is about it. So I don't even know that there's new homes. Actually, no, there's nobody living out there, because when we were out there, we flew the drone. You can see it right here in the footage. It's just dirt and roads. That's it. So kind of buying something sooner than later in this particular neighborhood kind of gets you in at the ground floor. Prices are expected to increase. So for an investment, it could be better to buy something sooner than later. But like I always say, the best time is when you're ready and things align. So do what makes sense for your family. But this is where we're at today. So there is a walking trail, all right, that's going through this community. There's a little sitting area, and I'm going to show you in the drone footage because there's not anything to see here. In fact, let me switch this over, and yeah, there's nothing to see from this view. So there's roads here. There's a walking trail that goes right through this community. There's a sitting area, kind of a little community park within this particular neighborhood. Now, right across the street, though, this is not the community, but there is a 30-acre park going in. So there's tractors out there. They're moving dirt around. That is going to be a nice community park. I believe 30 acres is what I heard. So that's going to be a nice amenity, even though it's not a part of this particular community. It's right across the street. So that's nice. Something else nice about out here is that there is actually no HOA. So a lot of the videos that we shoot, a lot of the communities that we promote on our channel, they do have HOAs. So many of my clients say, I love the houses, I love the whole idea of the community, but I really don't want an HOA governing what I can do and what I can't do. It could be good and bad. There's pros and cons to everything, including an HOA. So either way, if you're looking for something newer with no HOA, this could be a good option for you. So the nearest school to here, in terms of high school, would be Sunnyside High School. This is zoned for Fresno Unified Schools. We are in Fresno today. There's a very nice football field here and track. Lots of tennis courts, basketball. They got a very nice pool complex. So it's a good place. In fact, I've got a couple of cousins who actually both attended here, did very well. One of them graduated, went on to UCLA, and recently graduated from UCLA. So, a lot of it depends on the student, I think. Now, right across the street from the high school, that's walking distance from this new subdivision, we've got some shopping. We've got a strip mall here with various things. We've got a dentist. We've got some various items there. We've got a Panda Express, a CVS pharmacy. And then Winco is the major shopping, the grocery store for this community. I would say you can shop obviously wherever you want. There's a Vons and a Save Mart nearby as well, but Winco is cheaper and closer. So that's a good thing. So a lot of the infrastructure that you don't have in newer areas is already built out here because it's been an area that's existed for so long. Now, we do have a Walmart, a Home Depot, all of that stuff nearby. Everything you need is fine over here. This, I think it's this building right here, used to be the old IRS building. So they are no longer there, but that used to be the old IRS. So I'm not sure if that's good or bad, but it's just vacant office space now. So something hopefully will move in there one of these days and bring some more value to this particular part of Fresno. That would be cool. Fresno Regional, Community Hospital is downtown Fresno. That is not too far from here. You can just hop on the freeway. I'm going to spin this back to where we're all used to seeing it. So, hospital-wise, we are, again, where this red pin is at right here. Okay, over here in the southeast area. We've got a nice hospital. It's been renovated, all of that, in downtown Fresno, Community Regional, so that's a big one. You do have good freeway access. You can just head right up the street here, hop on Highway 180 or Highway 99. So Highway 180 is a east to west freeway. That's a main thoroughfare. That will take you all the way to Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. If you get on northbound Highway 41, this will take you all the way to Yosemite. So we do have 3 national parks very close to here within a couple of hours. So that's nice. I already mentioned that we do have a couple of different beaches in the area. Not in the area, but 2 hours away. So, and then you can be to the snow. You want to take your kids up to the snow in the wintertime, you can be to the snow in an hour from here. So it's really a good place to be with lots of different things to do that have very different feels. If you want to take your boat out, you want to go 4-wheel driving, we've got all of those types of things in this area within, half an hour. So it's a great place to live. I think there's a lot of value here. It does get hot in the summertime. over 100. But honestly, I've lived here for almost 30 years and I love it here. So hopefully you will too. Anyways, that gives you some perspective on where we're at today. If you want more in-depth info, shoot us a text message or give us a call and we can provide you with everything we've got on the area. Now, let's get back to the second house. I know you're probably dying to see it. It's a beautiful home. Let's get into that. All right, this is the second house right behind me. It is awesome. I think you're going to love it, and I'm going to show you why right now. So, it's a single story. If you're anything like me, I love a good single story. They do have a big footprint. They do take up more space, but these homes come with bigger lots. You got 6,000 plus square footage out here, so they kind of compensate for that. So right behind me, the first thing that you're gonna see is this gigantic entry. It is really big. There's lots of directions. We can go that way. We can just go back out where we came, exit. We can go into the garage. We can go into the formal dining. There's so much to see, so let me stop talking, spin this camera around, and show you what I see. All right, as we enter, down here to the left, we've got our coat closet. I told you a little bit ago that you get a lot of storage. I think we could use one more shelf up there, to be honest. May not be able to reach it, but we all have stuff that we don't actually need that we could put up there, huh? So this is nice. It's very nice. We got 9-foot ceilings in this house as well. Now we don't have the upgraded baseboards. Notice these are 3.5-inch baseboards, not the higher end ones. We do get the 8-foot doors. We don't have the gold hardware. We have silver. I mean, that's all just showing you different options of what we can work out for you. All right, we do have a shower tub combo in here. This is the first bathroom, dual sinks. It's pretty cool. These are not soft close drawers. Okay, so don't slam them. All right, this is spacious though. This house is over 2,300 square feet. So the first bedroom we're gonna look at is right here. So it's not bad. It's a little small. Honestly, I would have been excited about a little bit larger bedroom just because the house is 2,300 square feet. I would like to see a little larger bedroom than this, but this is what it is and it's really not too bad. It also looks a little smaller because of the angled wall where the door is. I mean, even if it was squared off, you're not going to do anything there, so you don't really lose as much as you think. But you only have 2 walls. Like, I guess you could put the bed there. I don't know. There's different options, but it's not bad. I would say it's an average sized bedroom, nothing crazy big or anything like that, but it will work for a kid. All right. This room definitely feels bigger, in my opinion. This is a cool basketball room, so if you're into basketball, you'll like this. I've never seen this before. That's kind of an interesting thing there. I think that one's signed by Michael Jordan. No, it's not. I'm just kidding. All right. That's a cool illuminated basketball on the wall. Pretty neat. The Rubik's Cube. All right. Okay, we're supposed to be focused on the house, not the decor. So let's get back to the house. You know, I tell my clients that. So when I list houses for clients that are buying new construction or resale, whatever, I tell them we want to neutralize the house because like I'm getting distracted just looking at how cool the basketball staging is and these balls hanging on the wall here. We don't want people distracted when they're viewing your home. We want them focused on the property, not looking at the pictures of your family on your walls, thinking they went to high school with someone in the picture. It takes away from the house if it's, you know, not neutralized. So it's just something that I thought I would share with you about how we do things. All right, let's see. If you are moving here from out of the area, I'm going to show you the size of this backyard because it's kind of what you get here in the area. So there's many different homes, many different lot sizes, all of that. But this backyard's a pretty average size of what you can expect here in Fresno. on a new construction home. So this entry is massive, by the way. Look at that. So this is awesome. This is probably my favorite thing of this home. Let me know in the comments what you like about this house. We're not done yet, so maybe hold your comments till the end until you see everything, and then you can give me an accurate opinion. But it looks very fancy, like with the walls, the detail on the walls, that's actually board and batten as well. This looks really good though. I like it. So it is pre-wired up there. There's 2 areas right here and over there. Those bigger round things are pre-wiring for either fans or light fixtures. I would like a nice chandelier in here since it's an elegant formal dining room with the crown molding and the board and batten. The smaller circle right there is a fire sprinkler. And then of course we've got our recessed lighting over there. So all the new homes in California come with fire sprinklers. It's a requirement now. And it's great to have, you know, fire sprinklers in case there is an incident that occurs. That will definitely help you. It's kind of like what they've been doing in commercial buildings for as long as I can remember. So the thermostat is here. It is a little bit lower hanging because the ADA accessibility. So that's super cool. I love that. And this is your great room. All right, let's take a look at this. So nice sized living room. This is essentially your breakfast nook because we just saw a formal dining, and then we've got a nice large kitchen here. See, this house is bigger, but it's not as highly spec'd as the last house. This flooring, I believe, is standard. The last house with the diagonal flooring would definitely be an upgrade, I'm sure. This is like a quartzite material here. It's kind of cool. It's got the bullnose rounded edge that you don't see too often. That's nice. Tiled backsplash. Let me see what lights. It's kind of dark in here because they have some of these lights off. So we've got the microwave over the electric stove. So the last house had the hood over the stove, which looks really good. It's kind of an optional upgrade. See, this is what I'm talking about. This walk-in pantry is what you need for a house this size. 2,300 square foot house, either 4 or 5 bedrooms. You need the pantry space to accommodate a large family that would be living here. Chances are it's not a couple, 2 people living in this home, it's a family. So you need that storage space. All right, good sized laundry, that's nice. Oh, here we go. We've got more storage for linens right here. You can store your detergent, all your laundry stuff right there. Maybe your appliances, if they don't fit in the pantry, you can go over there. All right, actually, let's go outside before we get to the primary. The primary is nice. So let's unlock this. All right, here we go. This backyard is pretty good. This is like the average backyard in Fresno, I'd say. Well, I can't even say it's average because it just varies so much. I mean, I've sold homes with like a football field in the backyard size, you know, and then I've sold homes with like a 5 to 6 foot backyard. I guess you could say this is average. It's nice, it's a good size. I love the setback on this particular home. It's probably a 10-foot setback, lots of space. And like the last house, it has got the gutters. It does have that. It's routed all the way down and then it'll drain out to the front just to help with water splashing against your stucco. This is really cool. So you are responsible for doing the backyard on these, but this just goes to show what you could do. So they got a little concrete pad. The covered concrete comes with it. Everything else is going to be dirt. So you got to figure out your backyard. But it's kind of a fun process if you're into that kind of thing. Or you can just do something basic and more straightforward, maybe some grass and concrete and call it a day, you know? So it depends on how long you're going to live here. Because if you say, oh, maybe 3 to 5 years, well, I personally would not overinvest in a backyard because you're not going to get that money back in 5 years. If you said, hey, this is the forever home, I'm going to sell my home, call us, we'll help you with it. And I'm going to buy the forever home and this is it, then hey, do whatever you want back there. Invest the money. It's not always about an investment. You do want to enjoy it as well and make the home the dream, right? So it just depends on where you're at in life and what your future holds. And sometimes life happens and there's something unexpected that comes up and things change. So finding a balance is important. So that's kind of something I like to share. I'm personally going through that myself. I bought a home last year, and I mentioned before that we're doing our backyard, kind of figuring out what we want to do. And I'm trying to find that happy medium of making it something that we love, but not over investing to where we're just sinking so much money in we're not going to get it back if we sold the house in a few years. So my 2 cents. Do with it what you want. Might be useless info, maybe not, I don't know. But let's check out the primary. Dun dun dun. Here we go. I love the 8-foot doors. I keep saying it because I still like it. All right, look at this. Really nice size, perfect size. You can sit right there on that interesting looking chair, read your book, and let's see, check it out from this angle. Lots of light coming in. There's actually no, I take it back. I was gonna say there's no lights on except for these lamps, but I don't think those lamps are putting off that much light. It's very bright in here because of these windows. All right. Look at that. You could totally put an end table or a nightstand double that size there. That would totally work. So, okay, this house we do get a tub. Very good. So we've got a step-in shower. Perfect. We've got the tub that some clients is a must-have. Can't live without. Natural light coming through. All right, down here we've got dual sinks on the vanity. Not a ton of counter space, but it will work. You could put your hamper right there. Just thinking out loud here. Okay, toilet room. We've got a large closet. All right, large closet. All right, oh, look guys, you're in for a real treat today because you get an exclusive look into part of the attic from one of these houses. Want to see really quick? Let me do something here and show you. Look at that. This shows you the attic that you never get to see, but they made it accessible for us. So we're going to take advantage because you guys need to see what goes on up here. All right, back down we go. All right, and your access is right there in your primary closet, okay? All right. That was unexpected, but hey, spontaneity, right? So, all right, guys, I know you're probably wanting to know at this point, what does this house run compared to the last one? So let me show you right now. We're going to get into the pricing so we can go over options, incentives. There are some builder incentives out here that I'm allowed to offer. So reach out to us for that. It's several $1,000s. And I like to fight for my clients to get them the best deal possible. And I've got relationships with all these builders because I do so many videos on them. I've sold a lot of homes by a lot of builders, and so they work with us. So definitely reach out to us. We can get you some exclusive savings. Let's dig into pricing right now. All right, so a pro tip I do want to share with you is that you don't want to move to a city and move to the wrong neighborhood. So you want to make sure that it's the right neighborhood with the right amenities, the right school district, all of that stuff. You don't want to move here, buy something, and then in a year from now say, wow, I wish I would have known this, or I wish I'd have known that. I deal with tons of clients relocating here all the time. I know their journeys. I know what they're looking for because we do this for a living and we have a lot of fun with it. So my recommendation is that if you give us a call, shoot us a text, we'll set up some time, whether it's an hour or a full day, whatever you have available to share with us. We would like to drive around together, point out the areas, show you where the boundaries are for all the schools, show you where the dining happens, you know, the downtown, the art festivals, whatever you're into, we want to share with you where that's happening so you can buy something in close proximity to that so you're not driving all over town all the time to do what you like to do on the daily basis. So anyways, let's get into the pricing on these. I think you're going to be shocked. I was blown away with the bang for the buck that you get out here. So the first house was the 1860 floor plan. It was a 3-bed, 2-bath. It could be a 4th bedroom option. I think it was set up as a den in this home. That house is $437,990. I know. So with solar, you're probably still right around $450 out the door. That is not a bad price for a home like these. Now, this is their higher end product line. So they're all single stories out here. This product, okay, they do have a lower end product that we showcased last week, and we're going to link that video at the end of this one. So if you want to see something more cost effective, check out the other video. We're going to link it here in just a couple minutes. Now, the second house we saw was the 2321 floor plan. That is a really big home with a large footprint, the wide entry, the 4 bedrooms. It could be a 5th bedroom depending on the spec. That house it's only $475,990. So even on that one, with the owned solar, you are still under $500,000 for a brand new home on a good sized lot, good sized backyard. I don't know how you can go wrong. Reach out to us with questions. We want to get you a deal on that, even better than that price. So we hope to hear from you soon. If you enjoy the video, then check out our other video on the other homes from the same builder. Until next time, thanks.